Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all between. Fred, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, V, and you?
I'm doing great. So, our boys have returned from tour.
Yes.
The fabulous Wings of Steel, Leo and Parker. It's been really cool to watch them, because they're, our favorite new metal band, and that's how they're ever gonna be, is the favorite, and we've been telling everyone about them.
Yes,
Even all
we
our
have.
guests, Kurt Vanderhoof, we told him, that'd be great opening up for church. And then, multiple artists were always saying, hey, because they're always asking, what bands are you listening to? So we're like, oh, you got to check out Wings of Steel #1, But
Yes.
yeah, so
We've made no secret how much we love this band from the very first time we heard them.
yeah,
And like you said, we'll promote them as much as we can because they deserve it. They're that good. They just got off of their tour of Germany, France, and Belgium, where they headlined. They also played at the No Playback Fest, the Keep It True Fest, the Bavarian Metalhead Fest, and the Rock Hard Fest. And so we are fortunate enough to welcome back, we can call them our friends because they are, Wings
Absolutely.
of Steel, Parker Halab, and Leo Unamark joining us from Germany.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
What a fantastic introduction. Thank you guys so much. It's great to see
Oh,
you.
this is like,
Great to have you back.
Out of the million bands that have existed, your band is the most featured on our channel, and I think we're at 16 now. Yeah.
All right.
We were wondering why so many people came out to this tour because we weren't sure. I think we know why.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we do pretty good in Sweden and Germany. So, but so tell us about the adventures. It's been exciting to watch it, man. And like watching the audience find you guys like we did has been just totally fantastic.
I mean, totally fantastic. Sums it up very well for us too, man, because, we had only, before we did this tour, we had only played 3 live shows as Wings of Steel. We've done our fair share of playing before, but
yeah. So
the band had pretty much had almost no exposure live, other than a few very cool and lucky people in Los Angeles. But coming out here, we had no idea what to expect, because other than these 4 festivals that we play, they're all great festivals. We had a suspicion that they were all gonna kick ass, but the headline shows, it was really we were really like, nobody's heard of us. We've never played here. I mean, if a few people show up, that's fucking awesome. And much to our and everybody else's surprise, I mean, we go and we started playing these shows, and we were like, fuck, we have all these people coming out. This is great. So, in a nutshell, we've just been blown away by the response and really just everything. And also, I mean, for us personally, getting to go and play live and finally deliver the music at the proper volume as it's intended, that was just it was just the most incredible thing in the world, really. So
we've been very fortunate, very blessed, and it's been great to finally be able to meet, a decent amount of people who were dying to finally be able to make it to one Wings of Steel show, And another thing that's really cool too, and which might be a blessing in disguise that we were able to do the festival so early on, is that a lot of people who showed up at the first couple of shows, they ended up attending like 4 or 5 shows throughout the tour. So they would come in their Wings of Steel shirts. They would already have their merch. They would sew their Wings of Steel shirts onto their
like their denim vests,
their battle vests.
Oh yeah, for sure. We used to do that back in the day.
There's some Wings of Steel battle vests that exist now, man. Like that's
awesome. That was going to be my next question, is like how many people kept on showing up.
Because we had like several people came out. I think from the first 2 festivals that we did, actually, there was at least, I don't even know. I mean, there was a lot of people who came and saw us 2, 3, 4, even like 5 times, which is, I mean, We were
That's
playing. A lot of the shows were all kind of situated in southern Germany, so I guess it was doable for some people. But like, I mean, we had some people. They're making like 3-4 hour drives just to come see us. Just, holy shit, that's awesome!
Right.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you might have to make a Wings of Steel cut for merch,
Right?
or at least a patch you can put on there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Like even with the like a good way to judge like how a show is going is or how do I say this? People on cell phone, you don't get the best audio ever.
No.
And you guys still sounded great on cell phone, like amazing. Like we were blown away. Seth kept on saying, my son, play that high note again. Play that high note again. Did he just, and it was very clear. Very clear. And just seeing all the stuff like, from French media, this, that, and the other, you're, in a show that also features Slash. And just so you guys know, you guys were in the last 3.5 minutes of the show. They put the best last. So you keep tuning in case you didn't know that. And I hope you do. But that was a fantastic performance, acoustic.
Mhm.
And Leo probably blowing everyone's eardrums out in the room.
Yeah, that was a cool day actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a promo day that we did in Paris. I think we had in the neighborhood of like 14 interviews that we did, and
Yeah.
There at like 11 in the morning, and we were there all day. But
but it was
you
great.
guys are on the trek, man. That's like so cool to see,
Really cool. And regarding the cell phone footage, it's when you're up there and you're playing, you're in a space of no time. You're just going about it. You don't think about a lot of stuff. You're just having fun delivering the goods, But then when you get off, you're in bed, you've taken a shower, and you start watching these stories or videos that people send to you. You're like, oh, let's see how this sounded, So it's really cool to be able to listen back to some of it.
I mean, I'll say on that note too, it wasn't like I mean, when you're playing in a small club, like there's only like the sound can only get so good. So I think really, I mean, a lot of these videos you'll see, like you can only hear the drums because it's a small room and they're like there in the front row. You can hear the drums, maybe hear the amps a bit.
Right.
Like it's kind of tough to get like a really like perfect sound in a small room like that. But I think really what it comes down to is if the performance is good and if it's tight and everybody's on it, like the audio doesn't have to be perfect.
And thankfully, we had a great drummer.
Yes.
Yeah, it helps.
The band sounded great, man. So how are the first couple of because there's new members playing with you for performing. Mm-hmm. So tell us how that went and like how everything gelled up.
Well, so we had on rhythm guitar we had Stefan Jean Ballet, who's played with he's done every show with us. He's been all the music, so he's been with us since day one. So he was on it pretty damn good. But then we had Mr. Mathieu Trobeck on bass from Belgium, and we had Marcel Binder on the drums from Germany. So we got here. I think me and Stefan got here from LA about like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks before the first show. Yeah. And because of schedules and work and everything, we only had a little bit of time to rehearse. And we're lucky to find we found a rehearsal space out here. It was like in this, it was really interesting. It was like this old like T-shirt factory or something in some smaller town in
nice.
They had like miscellaneous mannequins standing around in the dark corners and shit.
It was really interesting. To go down
merch gods.
Yeah, to go down the stairs to the basement to go to the bathroom. There's like these huge spiders down there and shit.
It was us and the Polish construction workers there.
Yeah,
man. But I'll tell you, they got to hear some premium heavy metal. Yeah, so it's all good.
So we had four rehearsals with everybody.
Wow.
And then we went and played the first show, but it all came together really quickly. And I mean, I think that's a testament. I think everybody, they learned their stuff. They were professional. Right. They were on it, and so that was really cool. I'm really grateful that everybody was dialed in.
Really, really proud of the guys, and worth saying too is that during the time we were together, we were playing together. We were also still getting to know each other. So by the end of the run, the last couple of shows, I feel like musically, personally, we were all coming together really well, and it was really magical to experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I
Well,
like
from
that
what I could
you guys did the Wings of Steel tune you posted, and it was from your last show, the last song. And what I really got a kick out of is watching the other members' faces.
Yeah.
Watch them. They're like, holy shit. You know, they're just like, it was so cool to see that. And for you guys, of course, we've been waiting and waiting, you know, for the world to see you guys, because we knew once they did, it's just going to be a snowball. I mean, so many people have probably contacted you. You probably have a lot of upcoming plans that you didn't have 2 months ago, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so tell us what's going on.
Well,
That you can. You know.
So there's a lot of things. This is why, you know, we finished the tour June 1st, but I've been here in Germany for the past 2 weeks, and we've just been super busy with stuff because we kind of have a lot on our plate right now. So let's see, for 2024. Well, I guess, you know, we can talk about this. One of the shows in France, the audio was recorded. So we're going to take a few songs from that set, and I'm thinking we're going to put out we're thinking we're going to do a little live EP, I think.
Right on.
So that should be coming out before the end of the year.
That's going to be cool. Another thing we're going to do is later this year, I'll be going out to the U.S. and we will start recording Wings of Steel #3.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And also later this year, we're also looking to do a little U.S. run. We're thinking I'll explain this a little more in a second, but we're thinking like end of November, early December. We're going to try to at least get to the Southwest, because at least, you know, the weather's not horrendous. We don't have to drive through a snowstorm.
Right.
So I'd probably be California, Arizona, Texas, maybe Oklahoma, maybe Nevada. We're still looking into that, but and then we're looking to get to the rest of the U.S. next spring. So that would be maybe like March, April, May.
Yeah.
And of course, so we'll come to the East Coast, Chicago.
Yes.
Try to
Yeah,
really,
my backyard's waiting for you guys.
but
So when you come to the U.S., if you need a roadie, I'll volunteer right now. I'll gladly take some time off and just road for you guys.
That's awesome.
But the big caveat with the U.S. endeavors is that we still have to get him a working visa to be able to play the shows, and the process is a little complicated. It's a little interesting with how long it takes to process it and get it approved and everything. So we're gonna get all that applied for and everything taken care of this year, but depending on how that goes, we may or may not be able to actually do the little Southwest run at the end of this year. So
Right.
it really depends on how that process goes. But we're definitely we're really you know, we're looking to do what we did here in Europe over in the U.S. as well, because I mean we have to.
You know,
we have to.
We're hopeful everything is going to work out, and we're doing everything we can to make it out in the U.S. as soon
Well,
as
if you need an immigration attorney, let me know privately. I can hook you up with one.
Cool. Okay. Cool.
Absolutely. You know, get
So the one
paperwork.
thing I noticed, I can circle back just to your tour. I mentioned before we started how seasoned you guys look on stage, especially considering it was your first time really playing as a band with 2 new members. You guys just look so seasoned up there, and so the chemistry was amazing. The crowd looked like they were really, really, really getting into you guys, and being how there's a lot of audiences had to be the first time they saw you. Did you see that? Did you really see the crowds getting in? Because what I could see, I saw a lot of fists in the air, a lot of head banging. It looked like they were so digging you guys.
So here's usually what happened, and this especially at the festivals where pretty much most of the people there had never heard of us. The first song, everybody's kind of like standing around. They're kind of like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh yeah.
The
What?
second song, people start to get into it, and by the third, fourth song, everybody's like sold. So that was like, and it was like a reoccurring like change of energy in the room.
Well, you know how metal guys are. First song,
Like,
this was true for pretty much all of the festivals where a lot of people don't know who we are.
Yeah.
The first couple of shows we did in each territory was a similar
which is
thing.
pretty similar, yeah.
By the time we hit, the southern parts of Germany for the, third, fourth time, then I think everyone was they knew what was going to go down. So another thing that's cool too is, like I said earlier, when you're up there, it's different. You experience the adrenaline in a different way. When you look at videos after, maybe someone shot from like way back, you see all the people in the back going crazy. And you go, damn, okay. Because when you're in the front row and the sounds blasting in your face, you get the adrenaline. When you're in the back, you're really, really listening to the music and you're hearing more of it. So it's cool to see that too. I think it was an amazing experience. It really was. I think we feel so blessed to have played in front of each and every one that we played in front of. It was terrific.
And something that, if you guys don't mind, this might take a minute. I have some like recap numbers from each show. If we don't have to, but if you're interested, we can do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Well, so for first show of the tour, fourth ever show was the No Playback Festival. It was in Remschingen in Germany, and that was we played to 500 to 600 people. And we were the first band on second day of the festival, so that was pretty cool. We ended up that was the first time we ever played Liar in Love, the song live, and that was we actually got we did an encore. It was like unplanned. We had to pull out another spot. That was really because we finished the set and everyone's going crazy, and we had a little bit time slot. So that was really cool. We did fifth ever show was Keep It True Festival. We had about it's hard to tell these numbers, but we kind of base it off of what the promoters tell us and what we can see. And I think it was over 1,000 people in the hall. It was our highest selling merch day, which is really cool.
Nice.
And we had it filmed. That's where those 3 videos that we put up on our YouTube are from. And we had, the thing that was fucking awesome about that show is a lot of these festivals will have like the bands do like a signing session. So when we went to do our signing session, they give you like 45 minutes, I think. And the line for the signing session was like so long, we literally like couldn't get to everybody. It was
nice.
It was crazy.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah. So then we got Bavarian Metalheads Open Air. That was our first open air fest. 400 to 500 people.
Really hot.
Very hot day. Yes.
Leather pants.
Oh my god.
Right?
Yeah. And that show was the first time we ever played the song "Lady of the Lost" live. We opened up the set with it too, which was cool. Then we got our first headline show. This was at a place called Lemmy's in Bad Friedrichsthal. Lemmy. Over 100 people at the show. First headline show ever. It's not a particularly big city, but fuck, it's awesome. It was great. It was really cool.
Absolutely.
And that show was actually the first time we played Slave of Sorrows live, and that was also we had 2 covers on our that we threw in our set. We had Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath.
I was watching that this morning, man. Really cool.
Yep.
Nice.
And we had Creeping Death by Metallica. So
Nice.
interesting, but when we played those songs, I think if anybody who was there who was not sold, like after we played that song, like you didn't even have to like sing half the lyrics because everybody's just like, and I don't know, the things really came to life, and from there the show was just, it was wow. Yeah, and that was the case with all the headline shows, really. Then we got South of Heaven in Belgium. First time ever playing in Belgium. It was on a Sunday. It was on Mother's Day, so we're like, nobody's going to show up. But we had over 75 people at the venue.
Right.
Yeah, so that was great. And then we did our promo day in Paris. We were at the Hard Rock Cafe all day. We did like 14 interviews. We did our first ever acoustic thing. It was Liar in Love, Storm Child, and then Dreamer Deceiver, which is like kind of a deep cut 70s Judas Priest song. It was very it was a lot of fun.
Oh man.
And
Look
then,
at that.
I still want to see the reactions of the people's faces when you did that unplugged thing and Leo just starts singing, and people
The
don't
guys-
know.
the
So they
guys
must have been like,
I could see I'm playing the guys for
Yeah, it was funny because they had this little mixer thing, right? It wasn't a huge setup. They had this little mixer.
right.
And they were like, sing something. And I would start singing, mid-range something. It was like, okay, are you going to sing anything higher than that? I was like, yeah, you want me to sing something? He's like, yeah. And then I did it. And you could see him just, woo, just like, cool.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so this was a very special. The next one was our Paris show. First time ever playing in France. We're playing at this venue called Les Etoiles, I think. And we had over 330 people at the show.
Right.
It was like we walked out there, it's fucking packed, man. It's holy shit. So that was really cool. And also something very special from that show was that was the first time we saw anybody crowd surfing at a Wings of Steel show. And also that was the first time we saw a mosh pit at the Wings of Steel show.
Nice. Moshing the Wings of Steel. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. That's great, man.
And then we
So
did.
you guys, I'm sorry, continue. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
And I just wanted to ask if you changed your set list around from show to show, or did you keep it pretty the same?
We changed it every now and then, depending on the set length for festival and just, trial and error on the headline show.
Yeah, I mean, we had the songs that we wanted to play, but we're always concerned with like how the dynamic of the shows go and which songs are next to which. So I think we played around with that a little bit, but we had it. I think we managed to get it dialed in pretty quickly.
We pretty much had it figured out from the get-go. We swapped like one or two songs or something.
Yeah,
like
but I think it was not from a listener's perspective, but also just from playing it, it was it had a good flow to it. I think we figured it out well. It's good dynamics. We have like She Cries. It's like this ballad, but then it has this like huge, fast, heavy metal section in the middle. Then it comes down a bit and it chills out. People, okay, and then you hit them in the face with Gates of Twilight, and then
and we
so
also,
on and so forth.
We also added some jams in there, so everyone had a solo section pretty much. We had the drum solo, we had the bass solo go into a groove where the second guitar player did his solo and stuff like that. So it's it's fun for everyone, and it's fun for the crowd as well.
And we did tweak a couple of the songs just slightly. It was fun to kind of play around, tweak some melodies, move this section just a little bit more, have it a little more, and like really give it like an extra like oomph for being live.
Yeah, a couple of things. Every now and then you'll just kind of stop in the song and let the crowd do their thing. And a couple of things we did too. We did it in a few songs where you add vocals, double the guitar harmonies with vocals, which makes it more singable, and then people will start singing along, which is great too.
And that's got to be great feeling for you on stage when the crowd's singing along, because they're into it, they know the music. That's got to be such an awesome
Fred, it's the best thing there is. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, did your hairs on your arms all stand up the first time that happened? You're like,
oh, I remember one time in particular when we were in France. We were backstage, me and Parker, during the Boys' solo, and I was so stoked, man. Fucking hair standing up everywhere. It was crazy.
It was really it was something else, man.
All kinds of things standing up, man.
And for those who don't know, any type of creative endeavor, just to complete it is one thing, and then to execute it and release it and go on, and this is years of your hard work from both of you. So like that had to be like a cool moment when you both looked at each other and like, I'm not crying.
Yeah. Well, Vince, you're absolutely right, man.
Love you, bro.
Me and Parker, we've been talking about this after the fact. Every single effort that we put into this thing, we're starting to see the reward just now, even though we're still putting a ton into it. And it's really great, to take a step back and be like, oh, look at what's going on, man. This is great, Because when you're in it, you're so in it, and you don't really have you don't have the time to stand back and like appreciate it. Of course, you appreciate it when you play, but it's cool now that in retrospect. Thank you. that you can step back, you can kind of look at it and like, what the fuck happened, man? You know, and it's cool.
Right.
I'll
And
say
it's
to
the
that
power.
too.
It's the power of. It's the importance of being able to believe in yourself. A lot of people don't have that ability, or it takes them a while to learn
Right.
it.
Mhm.
Because when everyone's like, "You're going to do what?" You know, like, "Oh, trust me, like you got it all." You like long-term vision, hard work, nose to the grindstone. Don't worry about what anybody else says. Do your thing. You know what I mean? And that's got to feel good to feel it start to overturn from the other side.
Totally, man.
That's been the key, Vince, for sure.
I mean, when we went and we played this first festival, and we get up there on stage and we're in front of all these people, it's like, and we're playing the songs live. It's like, it's full circle, man. Like this is what it was all about. You know, I mean, we love doing it. Every aspect of it. You know, we love it's a sitting down in the studio and writing the music and coming up with this stuff and everything, man. Like it's all great, but playing live and going out there and sharing that music with people and delivering it, and like
that's why you start playing music.
that's why you do it, man. So really being able to finally go and do that has just been it's been very special. It's been incredible, really.
So when you got up on stage for the first time at the first fest, was there a case of nerves, or were you guys just so freaking stoked that there was no need, you just went up there and started jamming away?
I can't speak for everyone on the band but I think I can speak for me and Parker. And we were actually talking about it last night on the balcony. We were saying, you know, it's kind of crazy how nerves weren't a huge thing this tour, and it really hasn't been. And how could it be? You know, is what we said. When you're backstage, you hear hundreds of people screaming, hundreds of people are stoked. All you got to do is just go out and play your music, right? And that's all you want to do. So if anything, there's a tremendous amount of excitement, which sometimes, you know, that can affect stuff too. You play stuff too fast. You're so stoked that you know, vocally you break, or you clutter a little bit on the guitar or whatever, but not nervous. No.
I'll say to that. The first show we played, I was stoked because we had been building this thing up for so long. But when we were getting ready, I was like, holy fuck, we're actually here, you know? And then we started playing, and like from that moment on, like the whole rest of the tour, I was just like totally stoked. It was almost strange to me because I'm always like used to being like a little bit nervous before you go on and play, and like it like very oddly disappeared.
You know?
Yeah, I mean everything you guys, you know yourself, you know yourself that you are talented. Each one of you knows that you have talent. So that's not an issue. Everything you guys do is very deliberate. You've been very cautious, not in a good way. Like business side wise, you guys are very deliberate and very spaced out, and that's good to see. You know, because a lot of people just try to, and then but you guys, because sometimes people get one thing right and not the other, but you guys seem to have that. Whatever you're doing's working. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, it's all a balancing act, really. And I'll tell you one more thing, V, is that I think when it comes to nerves and stuff, a huge distinction to make is: are you there for yourself, or are you there for all the people who are there? Right.
Right.
Because if it's the second one, which I think it is in our case for sure, if you're there for all the people, then you're dying to get out there to finally meet them. Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you're there for yourself, it's different. You get cut in your head, and things will happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like I had horrible stage fright when I was young, and now I could, whatever. Who am I talking to? You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes I get, I like geek out because whoever's guesting on the show, I'm like, oh my god, I've been wanting to talk to this guy for fucking 30 years, blah blah blah. And then as soon as I like see him laugh in the green room, then we go live. Because I'm like, okay, now I've entertained them for 1 second. And now I feel better because I paid them back just a little bit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, now I'm ready to go. Now they'll tell me anything, laugh at fart jokes and stuff. But some of the stories.
Yeah, so you obviously got great reaction from the crowd, and from everything looks like they just took you. How about at the fest you guys played? Did any of the bands you guys played with, did anybody from the bands come up to you and say, dude, you guys are awesome? Did you get any kind of feedback from the bands that were there?
Yeah, I think each and every one. These are people we got in touch with earlier. It's important to establish a personal connection with the people you play with. I believe that 100%. Whether it's us opening up for someone or them opening up for us, it's we're all in the same boat, right? We're all fueling the flames of heavy metal. That's why we're here for. So we were hanging out with them. We'd check out their sound checks. We'd check out a couple of songs when they were playing. We'd hang out. It's really cool people. I'm very happy we met them and established new friendships and new connections like that.
Yeah, I mean, just the same as getting out there with the fans, also getting out there and meeting fellow musicians, fellow people who are working in the industry, and getting to actually interact with these people face to face, not just an email or a Facebook message or whatever. Like that was also really cool. And yeah.
Well, I'm sure people are talking, and they're talking about you guys. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, "Holy shit!" Like that's like cool, because when you guys come back and do it again next year,
yeah,
you're gonna be like,
absolutely. And on the note that Parker said too, it's cool, especially at Keep It True Festival, where you have all these record companies, record stores selling stuff. We finally got to meet a bunch of people who we've been selling CDs to, selling vinyls to, who we've been working with for quite some time.
There's our CD.
Yeah, exactly. So that was really cool as well, to get that personal connection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, you guys, off like a rocket, man. Pretty sure of that. And it's cool to watch, man. You know what I mean? Because like when you're starting out, there isn't a lot of sounding boards going on, So we're very fortunate to find you guys early in your band's career. And to cheer along the way. So yeah, we've been telling everyone that your band should open for them. Saxon.
Yeah. Well, we did. We got.
Oh yeah.
The bands we see them write it down. Go, Wings of Steel got it. So
yeah.
If not, we'll just do a creativity talking tour. We'll bring all the bands, all the young bands. We can have you guys headline. We'll get Paralange. We'll get Rosario.
We
get all the young bands that we've talked to. One big show, Creativity Talk and Presents.
Absolutely.
That's great. And you guys play the warm up show, right?
Yeah, Vince can MC it.
Yeah, it's Washed Up Geniuses. That's what we're gonna, that's me and Jay's band.
Yeah, they haven't met Jason yet. So when you guys were in Europe, any new ink on either one of you guys?
No.
The
rhythm guitar player got one in Poland. Actually.
Yes, yeah, you got a little.
And that was it.
Nice. Okay, so what's going on for the rest of the year? What's your so you're gonna record? You got a live. Is it going to be a full length, or is it going to be EP?
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
We have to listen through. We have to pick the best songs that we like. Yeah. I mean, when we play that show, and that was the Lille show, so that was the day after Paris. I think that show, because this was a bigger venue, actually. It was it's like an old theater. I think it has something like a 900 capacity or whatever, but it's like 2 floors, so they just they closed off the top, but they filled out the bottom. But the sound that we had on that show was really dialed in. It was a big room, big PA, I think playing at that size of a stage, playing at that's where I really think
the sound comes to life.
The sound really comes to life, because when we produce the music in the studio, that's kind of the sonic blueprint that we're going for. We're thinking, okay, This is what the band should sound like when we're playing in a huge venue,
Right.
And also, I mean, by that point in the tour, we were all super, super dialed in. So, and we didn't know it was going to be recorded. Actually, we had a guy, our good friend in France, Olivier. he was there at the show, and he's like, oh yeah, by the way, after the show, by the way, we recorded it. You know, so, oh, thanks for not telling us.
Right
before.
on.
You know, we would
Right, exactly.
It's the right way to do it. But,
Mhm.
well,
So how did you guys adjust to, because you're playing different size, you're playing, you know, clubs, theaters, outdoor events. How was it dialing in or dialing out your performance? Because in some places you get bigger, you know what I mean?
I think
you not see much difference.
the bigger the stage, the more natural it felt, you know, because I
Mhm.
think naturally we want to move around a lot. You know, we want to engage on as many corners on the stage as possible. So playing the smaller venues is, I mean, it's still great. You know, usually it's a tighter venue and it's packed and you get that energy, but obviously you can't move as freely, right? But yeah, other than that, I wouldn't draw a lot of comparisons. You know, it's just you're free to move around.
Yeah, you're free to move, and I think when when you have a big enough PA system, you have enough air and space in the venue. I think it's a lot easier to kind of get a cohesive sound where everything coming from the stage can be mixed properly in the front of house. Like
Yeah.
the problem you have with small clubs is that, you know, unless you're standing all the way in the back, when you're right there up on the stage, you're really getting just the sound of the raw unmixed band. You're not really getting the blend of things as much.
Right.
So I think when you have a bigger stage and you're able to get everything blended, get everything sitting, so the bass, all the guitars, everything is popping through really well. I think that's definitely but that's from like a pure, you know, audiophile sound thing.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, like a lot of fans have always wondered, why do the bands like playing theaters? Because they sound great. Because there's wood. There's a lot of wood.
Absolutely.
You know, wood has little holes in it, and you know, all types of good
It
stuff.
does magical things to the sound, you know.
Absolutely. But
Well-
you know, compared to, you know, like, you know, sometimes you show up to a gig and the ceiling is 6 inches above your head and you can't even jump up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
You adapt, you know.
Yeah.
So we're 37 minutes into the recording. I got a question for Fred, and I got a question for you, V, as well.
Yeah.
So Fred, if you could
Yes, sir.
pick 5 songs to put on a live album that we put out, which songs would you pick?
Liar in Love for sure. She Cries, because I love She Cries. Gates of Twilight is another great one. And I have to think back, catching me
No,
off
you got it
guard a
right
little
there. You
bit,
got the
because I got everything here. Fall in Line is another. I mean, every one of these is great, but for sure, Liar in Love, She Cries, Gates of Twilight. Let me look at your the first album too, your EP. I got everything here. Storm Child is an awesome song. And what's the other one I love them all. So you're really been Blackout on the Street. You put me on the spot. Those are the 5 right there.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
And then V, if you could pick any band in the world to cover one Wings of Steel song, what band would cover which song?
oh yeah, I got this. Seth, you hear? Okay. I think Halloween covering Wings of Steel.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I think that'd be great too, man.
Great, yeah.
That's right. My son Seth was like, we couldn't place it, but we're like, who does Leo remind? You know, like we're like, oh my, he's like, dude, Halloween. I'm like, oh my God, totally. Like you guys could cover a tune from them and it would be fucking great. Great tour too. Wings of Steel and those guys.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
And it's funny because we often get, people saying, you guys should cover this, this, and this. So we were thinking like, probably not going to happen in the next years, but what if a bigger band covered one of our songs? What would that be on a compilation album, And that was a very interesting thought.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't think you.
And
that
I
was
saw
cool.
you.
We had that.
You
we
guys
came
have
up with
asked
it
what-
today. We're like, that would be
You
a
guys
good,
have
that'd
asked-
be a good question. Sorry, go ahead.
You guys have asked, how many times you've asked what songs would people love to see you cover, and of course, everybody throws everything out there.
Mhm.
I originally said "Stairway to Heaven" because I'd love to hear what you both do it. But then I think I'd love to hear you guys do a Priest song, and then I wouldn't mind hearing you do "To Hell with the Devil" by Striper or something. So you guys
Oh,
could
that
do
would be
an album just of covers. Not that you want to get to that point yet, but
Well,
and I got to tell you, I dabble in songwriting. Leo knows the story that I'm going to here. I dabble in songwriting, so I had a song that I wrote called "Heaven's Fury," and I always wanted to give it to a professional like Leo, and a lyricist, and say, "What can you do with the song?" And Leo took his sweet time on it and tweaked it, more than tweaked it, and created this incredible song. And he told me why he changed the lyrics here and why he changed this. And I looked at the final product, man. Holy shit, that's a rocking song now. I love that song.
Nice.
What you did to it, Leo, is so cool.
It came out great, man. That's a great tune,
It
dude.
did.
it'd be
Good.
another good one for you guys to do. Exciter.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Well, this is the cool thing about longer headline sets. You can throw in a gem or two there.
Right.
And we'll probably
Absolutely.
pick different songs because there are so many. This time around it was Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath, and it was Creeping Death by Metallica. Those are two huge songs.
There was
you know?
a lot of
That was
songs that
badass.
we wanted. The other we
Don't give it
almost
away. Don't give it
okay,
away.
I won't give it away. We'll probably do it on the U.S. tour. But,
Yeah.
We used to do a metal version of "I Want Your Sex" by George Michael.
Sure.
That was great. That was really fun.
See, the possibilities are endless, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Luckily, there was a chapter previously in life where I played in cover bands and stuff like that. So I've played a lot of covers throughout the days for sure.
So, so I'm just trying to picture you playing like a bunch of covers with your range. You know what I mean? It's just it's interesting. Everyone's like, "Holy shit! I never heard that song like that before."
I think that's what a lot of people thought when we played Creeping Death, because I mean James Hetfield's a terrific vocalist, but he's more stylistic. He's more confined in a lower range. It's just all about the growl in his voice
And the attack.
and the attack. And Leo took it and he's fucking sailing all over the place. And I was like, but the thing is though, like it was interesting because we're like, well, on one hand we can do a cover and we can like really do it justice, really keep it true to the original, or we could use a cover as a way and like put our own identity on it,
Right.
Thing. Because there were a bunch of other songs that I think a lot of people be like, why didn't you do this? You would sound exactly like them.
Oh, and they asked us.
Well, yeah, that's the
That
point.
was the thing. We wanted to take something that we don't necessarily sound like, and
Right.
for our own sake too, see how we would sound with our sound, because that's fun,
Oh, totally. Absolutely. Like one of the things we had Chris Slade on, drummer from AC/DC.
Mhm.
And so he started out with Tom Jones. Like, so he got famous with Tom Jones when Tom Jones, so my main question, I'm like, how loud does he sing?
Right.
And he's like, holy shit. He goes, one time, we were inside the recordings, inside the rehearsal space. Sorry, it's really warm here today and my air conditioner is not keeping up. And he said we were inside and Tom was outside and you could hear him singing over the band playing inside.
Well,
There you go.
That's yeah. But Tom Jones, 80 some years old, still amazing.
Mhm.
But yeah, so what was the funniest thing that's happened to you guys on the tour? Because there's always funny shit that happens when you travel and perform.
We just had this.
we were thinking about this the other day as
Yeah.
well. We were like, oh, that shit was fucking funny. And now you put us on the spot.
Do, 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 do. Yeah, that you can say on there.
Oh, man.
What was it? Was it the last show?
Dude, I can't.
Well, okay, what was the weirdest thing you signed?
The weirdest thing we signed. We actually, well, this isn't weird, but we signed a lot of t-shirts. like so when you sign a T-shirt with the normal Sharpie, it like really wears it down.
Yeah.
And so we had to. We made many trips to the
Sharpie store.
Sharpie store. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they charge €7 a pen here. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it was really expensive.
Holy moly!
Yeah. But we also signed, the people who they didn't buy any merch, but they really wanted the signature. They'll roll up with their fucking like beer cups.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Right.
A little signature there. It's cool.
We actually signed. We signed something for somebody, and then they got it tattooed.
Oh, they said they
that's
were going to
cool.
get it.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see. They
We'll
might
see.
be the first Wings of Steel tattoo. That'd
Yeah.
be sick.
That would be awesome. And like 20 years from now, there'll be a documentary, when Wings of Steel were on their first European tour. And you see this cup just illuminated with your guy's signatures, a beer cup sitting on this guy, next to all his other, Wings of Steel merch.
Yeah. I'm still trying to think of the funniest thing that happened.
A few things, man.
But I'll just say really quick on the other side of that spectrum, the most nerve-wracking thing that happened was day before we played one show, Parker got like incredibly sick.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It was like after we played the Rock Hard Festival, our biggest show.
Yep.
Something just went very south.
I picked up some very nasty virus at that festival, and I paid for it over the course of that week.
Yeah.
to put it lightly. But I went to the hospital on the day that we were supposed to play a show, and we were lucky. There was the perfect day the next week that we were able to move it to. And then it was still maybe not so good, but then we did the show that we were supposed to do the next day, and I think eventually just being up there on stage and playing again, it kind of like helped my body get rid of whatever it needed to get rid of.
Yeah.
Sweated it out in the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must have been a little nerve-wracking. You're like, no.
Yeah, I was just sitting there dying all week. I'm like, fuck, we have a show, man. I don't want to have to cancel the show, but it all worked out.
It didn't get canceled. It just got moved.
Yep. And I went to the hospital here in Germany, and you know what? I was avoiding going here because I was afraid my American health insurance wouldn't cover it. My American health insurance did not cover it, but that didn't matter because the cost of the hospital here without insurance was like cheaper than it is when I go with insurance in the U.S. So
yeah,
we're not here to talk about politics, but that was
right.
No.
Everyone, what they do here is just
But so that was a pleasant surprise. Like went there, they revived me a bit, and
that was the most fun thing that happened this tour is Parker paid $50 on his medical.
Yeah.
3 days.
No, I'll tell you, man. If we we'll think about it. We'll remember what it was, and then we'll send you a message and let you know.
There's a lot of real things,
There's one thing in particular. Yeah,
That's
whatever.
Justin from Wings of Steel.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, and there's the cup. On the guy's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It'll be the Tuesday medal.
Uh-huh. All right, so who's the coolest what was the most surprising thing that happened? Like people coming backstage to see you, maybe someone you didn't think would pop in and say, hey, just to let you know, I saw you guys and holy shit. Like,
I think a moment, not necessarily that, but a moment for me was when we played our second festival. We played Keep It True. Again, we opened up the day, and I was looking out. They hadn't opened the doors yet, but I didn't know that. So I was staring out. I was like, fuck, there's no one here. We're on in 20 minutes. God damn it. But then, we went up, and there were, I would say it was like a couple of, maybe 300 or something there. And I was like, all right, this is cool. Hell yeah, let's do this, And then we played the first song. And then during the solo, I think of the second song or something, I walk back or side stage. And the solo goes on for like 90 seconds because that's how we do it. And then I come back out and it's like doubled or like even tripled almost. I'm like, what the fuck happened, man?
Right.
And that was a great...
My solo was bringing all the people.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
absolutely.
I think something cool that happened. there's this German '80s band that Leo and I really like a lot called Demon, and we were lucky enough to play with them on. They played the same day at Rock Hard Festival as we did, and I don't think we met them there. But I remember what we posted a thing on Facebook or something after, and they go, "Yeah, these guys are great." You know, they commented that on the Facebook. I was like,
Yeah, this is the future of heavy metal.
"Oh yeah," something like I was like,
Right on.
that was pretty cool.
So yeah, so when you were playing your solo and everyone come in, now they can call you the Pied Parker. So the Pied Piper.
Nice.
I know, I'm a dad.
Vince.
That's a bad dad joke, but it was Father's Day the other day.
It was cool because the Rock Hard Festival, we played that on 420, right? No.
No,
It was no playback.
No playback.
Our first show we did out there was on 420, which
Nice.
is that's the day
It's
we
a
met.
significant day.
Yeah.
For us, and
Yeah.
also for many other people,
Absolutely.
for certain reasons that may or may not be legal in the territory where you live.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. I am a bud tender.
oh,
And so, yeah, we had a nice 420 show with Lost Psychonaut. If you guys haven't checked those guys out, they're really good. They're like straight up rock, but it's hard rock. It's not metal, but they got some really great riffs, man, and really cool guys. They're out of Pennsylvania.
That's cool.
nice, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So
also this 80s heavy metal band from France called Sortilege. I don't know if you've heard about them. Some people from that band, they were actually out. They checked out our show in Paris, which was really
yeah.
cool as well.
right on.
Great band.
And we played Rock Hard Festival on the 1-year anniversary of the release of Gates of Twilight. That was
Yeah.
cool too.
Nice.
But-
Nice. So
But
we
I mean, really, I think every single show that we played on this tour had like some unique significance to it. You know, whether it was the first time playing here, or you know, that like we had all these people come, or it was on a significant date. It was really crazy, actually. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, my air conditioner is at 82. It's really hot out here. Oh my god.
It's hot here too, man.
Right? Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys are basically at the same at the
think so.
same
I think so,
longitude.
Yeah, approximately.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's like that quote from the movie. It's like Czechoslovakia, that's like going to Wisconsin. You know. I'm Czechoslovakian, so. But anyway, all righty, guys. So you guys are gonna each go back home for a while, decompress while you start all these wonderful new, or as you get your other projects up and going within the band.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be here. You know, I live here with my lady, and then Parker's gonna go back now this Friday. But I'll be coming out there before too long, and we'll get everything going.
By like the end of August.
Yeah.
Somewhere. We'll
Right
be
on.
going.
Right on. And just to let you guys know, when I'm in my leather pants and shirtless, singing, lip syncing to your song, I do not look like you at all. It's way scarier. No, just kidding. No, you guys are great, man. You know, we love you. You know that. And we wish you nothing but the best. We think you're one of the best group of musicians out there right now. And we look forward to reporting on it when you take over the world.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Fred, V, thank you guys so much, man. It's always a pleasure
Thank
talking
you
to you guys.
guys.
Absolutely, guys.
We can't wait. Eventually, soon enough, we'll see each other in person. It'll be a good day.
Absolutely.
Counting on it, man. We're counting on it.
And we'll tip a cold one, whether it be water or laden with beer. But
Right.
absolutely. All right, guys. Fred, any last words, sir?
No, just great to see you guys. I'm glad the tour was a huge success, and I penciling in late year to see you out here in the U.S. So let's make it happen.
Absolutely. So everyone, you need to go get your wings, and that's Wings of Steel. We'll see you guys next time on Monday Metal. Horns up.